Okay, so as tough as it is, the first thing I have to do is confess. I am a bigamist. And what's worse, I have no clue how many people I have married at this point or most of their names. But as a way of explaining it, and how I still get to keep the wedding ring, I brought a picture of some of the lovely ladies. So, as you can see, the lady in the top left, I rescued her from some pirates in the Caribbean. The woman in the top right there, well, she's obviously a stripper, but she's a foul mouth, but great for an alibi if you're boosting cars in San Andreas. And yeah, that's me looking all gangster with the sunglasses as well. But you might be thinking, okay, well, gaming isn't really relevant. As I say, it's the realm of the 16-year-olds in the bedroom. But it's kind of moved on. And recently I had the experience, I was playing online gaming. I was playing Halo, for exact. And one of my team got shot, and the score goes up, and I just heard on the mic, "I can't believe you shot me." And then on the other end of the mic, I heard, "What do you expect? You're on the red team." And just at the bottom of the screen, it just said, "John has been sniped by John's mom." And I thought, okay, it's a family experience now. But what I'm here to talk about is mainly, and bear with me because it's a mouthful, massive multiplayer online role-playing games, or MMORPGs. I don't know, the abbreviation is just as hard. But these are massive worlds where computer players are playing in a world created by them. So it's as if you were watching Lord of the Rings, but every character in Lord of the Rings is a game player at home. The most kind of well-known example would be World of Warcraft. At its peak, it had 12 million subscribers. And another one would be Second Life. Now, Second Life is what actually brought this topic into my head, and it was quite a while ago at this point. Back in 2008, a man was divorced by his wife because she found out he was in a relationship in this make-believe world, Second Life. And it was grounds for divorce, and they are since divorced. I will say, I'm not going to show a picture, but just Google it. His character in-game was a 6'3" retired nightclub owner. Reality, slightly different. But then again, I suppose that's Second Life. And when I went to create the talk, I did expect it would all be trolls, catfishing, all the bad stuff you hear. But what I actually found is that online gaming and relationships in gaming it's a twofold element to it. And what it does also do, it allows people to be the same personally, but not with the same physical limitations they'd have in a face-to-face interaction. And the example I would give is Andurus there and Branwen, I'm going to say elf, I still haven't figured it out. Branwen was in trouble. Arduinus came along in-game, rescued her character, putting his character at risk. Now, Branwen, who's Jane in real life, thought this was quite noble, got to know him a little bit better through the game, saw his they shared the same kind of belief system and values. They met up in real life and are now married in real life. So, and I think they were the second couple ever to meet online and through gaming and do that. So there's two edges to it. But then I wanted to get some facts and figures. I can't help it, coding and everything numbers-wise. So I said I'd ask some friends. Now, I hate social media, but I put it out in social media. I figured if I get 10 people, it's enough for a makeup commercial. It's enough for a TEDx talk. But it went actually what I called Colin viral, and we got 150 responses. And what I asked, the first question I asked, and it was a mixture as well, so there's gamers and non-gamers. It was across the board. There's definitely one answer in from my mother, I know that much. But what I asked was, if you were to marry or date someone in a virtual world, would you consider cheating on your real-world significant other? Now, 31% said just flat yes, 23% no, and 30% said not as long as the other half agreed, which brought up a completely different image in my head. Imagine that conversation. "Hon, I'd like to see other people, mainly elves." But it was just, and yeah, I've got to get that out of my head. But you could be looking at me and saying, "Well, sure, Colin, you're a game developer. You don't give a toss what happens in the real world. You're all about the virtual." And to some extent, you'd be probably right. But when you look at, from our side of things, gamification in game design, that's what we do. It's rewards. It's coaching people to follow a storyline by incentivizing it. And with gamification, one of the things that we do is obviously we incentivize. And now MMORPGs have brought that into some of their marriage systems. So in the one instance, there is if you want to share clan ownership or management, you get married. Relatively okay. There's another one where you get special unlockables that you can only get by getting married. What's won't say worse, it's strange, they even have standard and deluxe wedding packages. Now, I saw no mention of Frank, but I'm not sure whether that's just the thing to come. And even The Sims online, if you want to make a baby, you make Woohoo. It could be a lot easier to explain than the birds and the bees, I guess. But this gamification kind of goes on and it coaches. So the next question I asked was, well, if it was incentivized, would you get married in the game? And 1 in 5 people changed their answer to the point where now half the people would say yes if it was incentivized in the game. And that takes it to a whole new realm. What I also found, which I thought was at least some comfort, is that 90% of people said having virtual sex in the game was still no. So it's a loveless marriage if there is one. The other thing was getting married to someone who's not your preference. So 2 straight blokes getting married to get the unlockable content is just as bad. So there's no marriage as a convenience going forward. And from looking at that, I kind of thought, right, okay, so gaming allows us to be better or worse people than we are in real life. It allows us to explore new worlds. But at the end of the day, we're still the same people. We have the same value system. We have the same real-world people at our sides that we impact and have an effect on. So those decisions that we make have consequences. And I suppose, from my perspective at least, I would suggest that if you're down the local Wizard Inn in World of Warcraft or similar, and Jug's 93 approach is looking to take the relationship to a next level, maybe say no. But on the converse side, if you're single and you want to meet somebody who shares the same value system as you, you could always go down to the Wizard Inn, find a nice dwarf warrior that shares your value system, and you never know, you could be the next Branwen in Honduras. Thank you very much.